All right, we have to get this podcast
Yeah,
done.
we gotta
All right.
go. I gotta fucking go pick up my dog.
All right, here we go. And start. Okay.
All right, so last point, and then I'll head out.
To wrap it up.
Yeah. But let's make it seem like you lost a bunch of audio. It's just like, okay, so that was a great story, and then I think we're good, right?
Yeah, I think that's it. I mean, this is usually when people check out anyway.
Right. Yeah, the first 5 seconds. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, we had hello, hi,
Hello.
hey, how's it
Okay,
going?
good,
I
yeah.
chugged a Red Bull outside, so I'd be ready to go.
Yeah, you didn't have time to even drink it on the pod. You had to drink it outside.
I shoved it up my ass, and then it fucking
Well,
ready to go.
it hit quicker.
Yeah, hit way quicker.
Yeah.
My eyes are all dilated. Yeah. So Patrick, my dog, for Rich's dad.
There you go.
Yeah, because he needed specify.
Well, he's good now. We're
He's
on
good now.
episode 36.
Yeah, well, I hope so. Patrick has been at my brother's place for 3 days
Okay.
because we had a ceiling leak. Did I talk about this on the pod?
A sailing link.
Link.
Like Zelda.
Yeah, like Link. Yeah, like Ganondorf.
A small child.
Small child with a sword has been living in our ceiling for 3 months.
Okay.
Leak from the third floor. A bunch of shitty toilet water came down.
Ooh.
Well, not actually.
From the third floor.
Third floor.
Now,
So
Taylor, you're on the first floor.
I'm on the first floor.
Now explain what happened to the second floor.
Well, so I can only go on speculation.
Okay.
But here's the evidence that I have so far. About 3 weeks ago,
Okay.
or when was about 4 weeks ago? Let's call it 4 weeks ago.
When was Pearl Harbor?
When was? Yeah, I always work out from there. Two of my tenants, two people who lived in the building, left. They moved out.
Okay.
And where they were like, hey, we're sick of this weather. We don't talk to them. We were just out in the hallway. They were like, we're sick of this weather. We're moving to Austin.
Okay.
And this was 48 hours before Snowmageddon.
Okay, and this was Elon Musk was your neighbor.
This was Elon Musk.
Elon
yes.
was moving
Yes.
Tesla.
You know
to Austin.
the guy who lived on my third floor.
I know E.
Yeah. So what happened was 48 hours after that, I'm sitting at my desk. Leak is just coming in through the ceiling. It's just dripping water into my staircase. And
That goes down to your bedroom.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's just pools of water is just pouring down from the top. And so I'm like, wow, this is a mess. And so I go up to the second floor and I knock on their door and the guy opens it up and water is pouring from his roof.
Oh.
Yeah. And the funniest thing was he looked at me like he didn't know why I was knocking on his door. I was banging on his door and he's like, hello? What's going on? As water is coming from his, I'm like, I'm here about this. We're doing the same thing. What do you think?
So you had like a terrarium in your apartment building.
Yes, there was moss and fog. It was
Right,
fog
there
and
were
moss.
ants and-
Yeah. The frogs had moved in at that point. So what happened was the third floor, who at this point I'm pretty confident is an Airbnb person, because the other people moved out, is basically like they were flushing something, and then they were flushing, and then they were flushing.
Yep.
It never overflowed for them.
Right.
But it's like they busted something
Within the
within
walls or
yes,
the ceiling in this case.
Yes. And it was just boom. Yes.
Oh.
So for the last 3 weeks, this guy came, he looked at the ceiling, he's like, we're gonna have to cut out all this and then
Yep,
we're gonna
of
have
course.
to do it.
Yep. That's how you do that.
And I'm like, every week I'm like calling him, being like, hey, what's going on, man? When are we doing this? Are
course.
you going to come? He's like, oh, man, I haven't forgotten about you.
Now, did this guy work for Spectrum?
Yeah.
This is all big Spectrum.
Yeah. He gave me the line of, I haven't forgotten about you, which is textbook what you say to somebody when you've forgotten about them.
I do it all the time.
Yeah. Nobody has ever been like, I forgot about you, and then was genuinely like, oh, I forgot about him. They were
Right.
like, I knew. I chose to not pursue this.
Right.
So, and we're very clear with this guy. We're like, hey, man, we got this dog, Patrick. Name drop Patrick. Shout out Patrick.
Patrick.
I'll see you in an hour. And we're like, he's going to lose his fucking mind if you come into this apartment with like a buzzsaw and just start hacking up our ceiling.
He's not going to do well.
He's not going to love it.
He's not. He doesn't do well when he doesn't see things.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, when he will see, or maybe he'll do better.
No.
He's never seen something. He's only barked at things he's never saw.
Oh boy, the refrigerator guy who showed up to look at our refrigerator lost his fucking mind on that guy.
Really?
Yeah, he doesn't get aggressive. He's just like, I just don't like this. I don't like what's happening. Fuck you, and he just says that for like hours. That's what I loosely translate.
Okay.
So we tell this guy, hey man, you got to give us like enough time to make plans to get him out of the apartment.
Okay.
So that you can come in and fix it and
Okay.
do what you need to do.
Of course.
And he's like, oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm going to give you enough time. It's going to be great.
Uh-huh.
So last Friday,
Okay, this was a week ago.
yes, last Friday, finally get him on the phone. He's like, okay, I can be there around Wednesday. And I was like,
What does that mean?
yeah. I was basically like, well, that's just not going to work for me because that could be Tuesday. That's probably Thursday.
I would guess.
And he's like, okay, Wednesday, 9 a.m., I'll be there. And I was like, whoa.
He gave you a firm time.
He gave me a firm time.
That I appreciate that.
Yes. Well, you're not going to appreciate a lot of what happens next.
Well, I don't live at your apartment, so I don't give
exactly.
a fuck.
Yeah, exactly. So I talked to my brother, and I'm like, hey man, you gotta take the dog a couple days. If you can, we'll talk to somebody else. And he's like, yeah, it's fine.
Right.
But underneath it, he's like, this is an issue for me, and it's a problem. It's pretty much my brother's MO of like, he's very much like, I want to be helpful until I need to actually be helpful.
Which, that's all. Can we be honest?
What's that?
That's all of us.
It's all humans.
We all we're
Yeah.
all the, if you need something, let me know. I tell people who live in California, if you need something, let me know. I
Right.
can't do anything. I can't do anything for you, but I say that because no one's ever said, hey,
Yeah.
I need some chicken noodle soup.
Now here's what I thought would be the cherry on top. It's Patrick. You take the dog.
He's a good kid.
He's a good kid. He's a good kid. He means well. He's gonna nap all day.
Most likely.
Yeah, and he's gonna bark at a couple things. That's it. Good kid overall.
Part of the deal.
So off the bat, I'm very tense because I'm like, I don't want to intrude on my brother.
Yeah.
He needs to hold on to the dog, but I could go somewhere else. But it's like I don't want to have him upset because he's like, why didn't you come to me? I'm your brother. I'll take the dog. But then when I'm like, hey, I want you to take the dog, he's like, yeah, this is a bit of a problem. You see the catch-22 that I have going on here?
Now, let me ask you something about your brother. First of all, you can tell that we both had stimmies because we
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
It's better than last week's episode,
Amped.
baby. And
Yeah.
let me tell you something, the numbers didn't show.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, here we go.
Nobody liked the Survivor theme?
No, your fucking fiance comments, look at you two wearing the same outfit. I'm talking about Epstein on here.
People are gonna be able to, if they could zoom out, they would just be like, oh, I can clearly see a mirror with some cut up lines. They'd just be like, yeah, that's absolutely what's going on here.
Yeah, but really, I just spent $7 on coffee today. So
Yeah,
it's what it
exactly.
is.
And I just chugged a sugar-free Red Bull. So we're fucking. I love
Yeah.
that. That's how we get to the same. That's how we get to the same level. Is like you had how much coffee?
I had a cold brew this morning with the new foam from Dunkin' Donuts, the chocolate foam. Shout out chocolate foam from Dunkin' Donuts.
I had an iced mocha this morning. Look at us.
Look at us. Sorry, Dad, we're both gay.
Yeah. So anyway,
But your brother, what I tried to get at, I'm
Yes,
sorry for this.
please.
What I'm trying to get at here is your brother,
Yeah.
and I'd never met him in person.
sure.
He seems
Yeah.
to have no responsibilities.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay.
Bingo.
I just wanted to make sure I had it
bongo.
correct.
Yes. And love him to bits. Love him to bits.
Well,
in
nothing
the
against him.
same way, like if you took away Patrick, I would be in the same boat as him.
Of course.
Yeah, exactly. Like I have equal amount of responsibilities as him.
You only got Patrick because you wanted to quit comedy.
Boom. Bingo.
Yeah, so there you go.
Yeah, exactly. And if Patrick dies, I have to get back into comedy. So that's
So that's why you're keeping him alive.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I don't give a shit. I'll pay for all the surgeries, all the ACLs, whatever.
Cheaper than open mics.
Yeah, way cheaper than open mics. Absolutely. So anyway, I go drop him off. He's doing great. We're getting proof of life pics every single day of my brother just taking a picture of him on the chair.
Like wag.
Yeah, wag.
Essentially
Here he
wag.
is. Yeah, exactly. He barked into the phone. Whatever. Wednesday morning,
There we go.
day one of this guy fixing our ceiling. I call him at 10 a.m.
I guess because he wasn't there.
Yes.
Okay.
It wasn't like I was downstairs, he was upstairs. I called him. I call him, and he goes, oh, did the super not give you my message? And I was like, you son of a bitch.
Here we go.
You son of a bitch. I will go find him and ask him if he told you. I'm going to get mad at somebody. It's Spectrum all over again. He goes, I got a leak in another building. I might be able to come later.
So did he prioritize another leak?
Yes.
So that leak must have been on the 4th floor
Yes.
of that building.
It was on the other half of our building. And so it was all just leaking down from the 4th floor. Yeah, so, and then I do talk to my super, and my super went, oh yeah, he told me he's not coming. And I was like, well, he told me that he might be coming a little later. And he's like, and then just kind of left. And I was like, oh, okay. So around 4 o'clock, I get him back on the phone.
All right.
And the guy's like, okay, I can come Thursday.
Okay, which isn't Wednesday.
Which,
just
last
check.
time I checked. Yeah, let's call
Spectrum,
in.
call in.
Yeah, call in, dial in. Not Wednesday. And he's like, okay, I can be there Thursday. And he's like, and I can fix. He's like, so I'll come in for an hour. Did not tell us that would be the process. He's like, I'll come in for an hour and I'll cut down all the things. And then odds are it'll still be wet. So we're going to have to let that dry out for a couple days. So he's like, I could probably finish up around Saturday. And I was like, well, the fun thing about that is my brother's only watching the dog till Friday.
But now, why is that? Can I ask?
Why did we only... Well, because we had the assumption of if he had started Wednesday, how many days is he going to need to fix the ceiling? We actually gave him more time than we thought it would be. We thought it would be at most a 2-day process. Wednesday, Thursday, boom, out. And then we pick up Patrick casually.
Right.
And now everything's been pushed back to fuck, and he's just like, all right, I can definitely come Saturday. I'm like, hey, that's not gonna work. And I understand.
I have a few questions.
Yeah.
I have a few questions surrounding this.
Go.
One, why didn't you just pick up Patrick? Because your brother does not live that far from you.
He does. You're thinking of
what do you-
Garrett. You're thinking of Garrett. Evan is like, he's like a 30-minute there and back. It's like an hour. It's like an hour in Uber.
But yeah, he's in Brooklyn.
Yeah, but he's in not south. He's in Park Heights.
No.
I just put it in Uber.
You just took two ending of neighborhoods and combined them. You said Park Heights. Usually neighborhoods end in Park or Heights. You said Park Heights. I don't even know what that is.
What's the name of that Lin-Manuel movie that's coming out? The fucking...
Don't ask my dad. He won't know.
Yeah, so it's basically when I put it in the Uber, they're like, it's going to take 40 minutes to get there.
Okay, but... So you just left them at your... But then why doesn't your brother just hold on to him for another day?
Look back on what I was talking about before. I don't want to impede. I sent him a text today being like, hey, man, I'll be there around 7:30. And then I just sent him a text now at 6:45 being like, hey, it's probably going to be closer to 8:30. I'm running a little behind. And his response was, okay, let's stick to that.
Okay, what I don't get why he just doesn't hold on to the dog.
Boy, yeah.
So really now you've just pissed off everyone.
Yeah.
So this was a pointless...
I had a pointless week. Did I not start with that? I should have started with that. I had a fucking pointless week, Rich.
Taylor, when are your weeks not pointless? You're a graphic designer. You had a pointless week.
Yeah.
You're not a cop. You're not a fireman. You're not an EMT.
Nothing's going to be funnier than me showing up to my brother's place and he being like, why are you... What were you doing in Manhattan? And I got to be like, I was doing a podcast.
Yeah, this is the most important thing you've done all week. This is by far the most important thing you've done.
He's gonna throw Patrick down a flight of stairs, just being like, "You're an hour late because you were doing a fucking podcast." Tight.
What,
He's my whole family, and this is not just my brother. It's like we have this weird thing of like the minute that you establish information, and we're all clear on the plan.
Right.
So far, as loose as it is, you could be like something for Wednesday. And if you, up until like a 24-hour, 48-hour window, if you're within that and you try to change the plan,
Okay.
everybody runs around like they're on fire. It's like we cannot adapt in that short a period of time to a new plan. We get so pissed off. And he's the same way. It's like if I had told him Wednesday night that he would need to have Patrick till Saturday, he'd be like, it's fine. Yeah, I'll watch him another day. But it's because the guy let me know on like a Thursday that now I got to call Evan up, and it's too short a time for him to be like, okay, I can rationalize. It's like he's like, I fucking God, why are we doing this? Like, what's going on? You know, like, and it's basically I was trying to avoid it and I couldn't So here we are. Everybody's pissed off. I'm pissed off. Shar is like, stop being pissed off. And I'm like, no, fuck this. Everybody sucks. I fuck this. It's Spectrum all over again. It's Spectrum all over
It's
again.
physical Spectrum.
Yeah, it's physical. Because I can actually see the guy. And then he shows up and he's like, It's a lot of this.
Wait, did he show up? Oh, no, tomorrow's the first day he shows up.
He showed up on Thursday.
Oh, he did show up on
I skipped
Thursday.
over that. Fuck. Yeah, he showed up for an
Damn it, Taylor!
Yeah.
Go
You
over
got
it.
me too heated. You got me too heated to talk about Evan.
I got you too heated. You came into my apartment. You said, hey, listen, we got to do the podcast quick. I got to pick up a dog.
The dude fucking showed up on Thursday for, I promise you, 45 minutes. 45 minutes. He just came in with a buzzsaw and he went zig, 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 ripped out our entire fucking ceiling.
Yeah.
And then none of our light fixtures work.
Yeah.
There's dust everywhere. And he's
Yeah.
like, I'm going to put a tarp down. Didn't put a tarp down.
That's what it is.
Yeah. And then he's just like, okay, I'm going to need the whole day on Saturday to actually fix this. I was like, okay, so the minute that the dog is now back at the apartment, you're like, yeah, I'm going to show up here and I'm going to fix everything.
But he doesn't know about the dog.
He knows about the dog.
But it's not his problem.
It kind of, it's, you're right.
He doesn't give a fuck about your
Right,
dog.
but our whole discussion, everything we discussed about any sort of scheduling was literally the only reason he can't come whenever the fuck he wants is because of this dog. And he's like, okay, yeah, I'll work around it. I'll give you the time. I'll give you the time that you need to get him out of the apartment. And then the minute that we get him out of the apartment, he's like, that's crazy because I just kicked over a fucking sink and it's leak. That's crazy. This leak is happening.
I say it's your brother. Your brother
Is most at fault?
is most...
Yeah.
Your brother's... well, the guy's at fault for not doing it on the time that he gave.
Or
even
just
though
not communicating. I don't know what it is. And I think it's because I arguably, like, for some reason, contractors or, like, just in general have the demeanor of, like, congressmen. Like, they have the accountability of congressmen. Like, truly, like...
That's funny.
I do not understand where this comes from, but it's just like you want to hold them accountable and they go... You're going to have to talk to my aide about that. Like, that's just not going to work.
You're going to have to write in.
You're going to have to write in.
You can call into my office or you can write a letter.
Well, yeah, exactly. The voting booth's open in November, so it's
we should have to elect
yeah, contractors.
our contractors, plumbers,
Yes.
AC people.
Yes.
We should have to elect them.
We
You're
abso-
onto something here.
I think I am. I was thinking about it today, and I was like, because I'm not going to compare what I do to what they do, but I am in like a service type industry of like people at.
All right, relax.
I think that's the least that I can give myself. A service industry. Somebody asks for something, I give it to them. That's the baseline of what I do.
I mean, okay.
Yeah,
I mean, that's kind of
it's not like
everyone.
I was
At this
like-
point, you're saying a job.
Yeah, it's not like I was like, I'm basically in the military. No, I'm saying I'm on par with a server at a restaurant in the
I'll agree
service.
with that.
Yes, and I'm saying contractors are kind of in the same boat of like people ask for something and then they show up and then they do it and then they get paid to do it.
Yeah,
right?
that's a supply and demand. You just explained the economy.
Sure, but it's also it's not like a taxi service, right? Oh, I'm getting
exactly like a taxi
I'm getting
service.
supply and demand. Yes,
Yeah, supply and demand.
It's supply and demand. With me and supply and demand, people need creative. I gotta fucking do it. And if I go like, that just ain't gonna work, and I tell them like 24 hours before, they're gonna be like, you fucking suck at your job. No matter how good it ends up being, they're gonna be pissed off to no end because there's something about the creative industry where they go, what else are you doing? You're on a laptop, get it done, or whatever. But it's like when we think about like a guy who has to show up with a buzzsaw and cut open a ceiling. Granted, this dude did some wild shit to cut into our ceiling. It's a tall ceiling.
Big ceiling.
The demeanor and the lack of communication that he needs to bring to the table is like, what? Who do I talk to? Who can I say he did he did it, but he did it in such a shitty, annoying way that now I kind of don't give a fuck, and I wish he hadn't come at all, and I just have a moldy ceiling.
The reason why plumbers
Yeah.
treat you like this, it's the same way mechanics treat you like this.
Right.
It's the same way most handymen, because they know you can't do it.
Yes.
The graphic designer, if you get mad at a graphic designer, just go, I'll get another
Right.
I could draw a shitty thing myself. It might not be as good as yours.
Right. Yeah.
You can't do that no matter
Yeah,
what.
yeah.
So he's like, oh, you don't like it? How about fuck you?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's a congressman, isn't it?
Well, congressmen have no talent.
Yeah, they have no talent, but they got to get the gab, and they're just like,
Some do.
Yeah, they're literally like, you couldn't command a room of 200 people just by talking. So where are you going to go? You're going to go find a new congressman? Yeah, good luck with that.
Deal with it.
Yeah, they got very similar energy, having never met a congressman and only seen him on the TV.
That's what it is.
This guy... do I call the landlord? I don't call the landlord, right? Because he's just going to be like...
Because the landlord doesn't care either.
He doesn't give a fuck.
You don't realize how little people care.
Yes.
You think people care because you care about what you do.
Yeah.
And you care about your clients. And by the way, your client is a full-time employer of yours.
Yes.
You are not a full-time employer of them.
Right.
So they don't give a fuck.
I'm practically an Uber ride to them.
Exactly.
Like, you're going to be gone.
And if they're not going to fix your thing, they're going to fix someone else's during that. Whatever.
Yeah.
They're getting the money.
Right. They're getting the money. That's what it is.
You're a number.
Yeah.
If even. You're less than a number. You're a decimal.
That hits me at my core.
Yeah, how does that help with your social anxiety?
I literally had a conversation with Shar last weekend about like how like if I ever applied for a new job and they were like, you got to do like the corporate way of applying, which is just
it would not work.
It wouldn't work for me.
No
way. Because I was literally what I told her was like, I don't want to feel like a number when I'm applying.
Nope.
Boom. That's it. That's it. If it's like it's like Neo in the Matrix when he sees all that code and then he looks at me, I would just break down emotionally. He's like, you're literally just a pile of numbers. I'd be like, that's the most hurtful thing anybody's ever said to me. I don't care that it is true in this fucking simulation.
I like what I would love to do, and you can still have your job. I just want to film this. This might be for the Patreon,
sure.
Which we have the numbers. Which we don't.
Once we get 20 consistent viewers.
Well, fucking are you garbage? Have me on your fucking podcast. What I would like to do is I want you to have an interview at Goldman Sachs, and I want to film the whole thing.
Boy.
I would love for you to have an interview at Goldman Sachs, and they go, why are you relevant for this job? And you go, I don't know if you saw at the bottom of my resume, I wrote, I love ham sandwiches.
You want to talk about that?
And they go, get the fuck out of here.
Get out of here. Yeah. Hey. Corgis, though, am I right? You want to talk about corgis? Hey.
Also, here's another thing, because my girlfriend calls me the other day. She goes, "Yeah, listen, what's that brand that Taylor draws for again?" And I said, "No, he doesn't draw for the label. He doesn't draw the label." She goes, "I've been telling everyone he draws the label." I told everyone he drew the label. So now we have 5% of the world's population thinks that you drew the label for the brands.
It's all full circle of like the first episode. I had to explain to you like what it was to be a graphic designer, and you've retained none of that information.
Because here's the thing: what do they need you for besides the bottles?
Oh boy,
brand like ads.
I actually have had to have this conversation recently, where we pay.
Don't get that much into it.
No, I don't want to believe that. Yeah, I don't want to believe everything. I'm trying to think about it from the marketing team. Marketing team, period.
Okay, I'm with marketing.
Marketing. You understand what marketing does. They come up with ideas that sell products and things
right.
better than they did before. They pay agencies to develop like the big shit, like an ad, a billboard, logos.
I'm with you.
Labels. But then there's this cap for an agency.
Okay.
Where an agency goes, unless you pay us a lot more, we're not going to make any more things for you.
Okay.
So then our sales teams around the country go, we need this. We need that big thing, but in like a smaller format or a different format or wrapped around something.
Okay.
Or printed onto a T-shirt or whatever.
Okay.
And then they go, well, we're not going to pay these agencies shit tons of money for your local thing.
Right.
We need somebody who can take that, mold it into what we need for local teams.
Okay.
And that's literally what I do every single day, is take the creative of other people, manipulate it, send it out into the world.
Gotcha. So you're not even the main priority at your employer?
No.
Okay. So why the fuck do you think this plumber gives a fuck about you?
Well, because
your job doesn't even ask you to draw shit.
I'm basically him. He's got a boss. He's got a boss who's telling him to go plumb something.
No, he has no boss. That's why people become plumbers.
Damn. Yeah, but if I was a fucking freelance designer...
Now you're realizing how little your skill matters to the global population. He has no boss because you don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
But you need a boss to do your thing full time because most people can do what. Well, not most people can do what you do, but you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, but okay, but then your argument is like anybody who's self-employed is an asshole.
Well, they treat people, like assholes. Usually.
What is that? When did that happen? Why does that happen?
'Cause we
Just
can't
be
do
a
that.
decent fuck. Just be a decent fuck and show up on time and fucking do the shit that you're getting paid to do. Why you gotta piss everybody off? There's this term around corporate America and just jobs in general where it's
Offline.
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 I'm gonna fucking offline this guy.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna get anywhere.
This guy
close.
doesn't even have an
Yeah,
email.
Yeah, this guy's got like 100 pounds on me. He would press me under his thumb. Stakeholder management. You know what that is?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking plumbers and stakeholder management. It's just not fucking happening. You're telling me if a plumber can't do a good job, communicate decently, and just show up and do the shit, that people won't want to work with that plumber a lot more the next time shit happens?
But it doesn't matter because it's going to be someone else. They don't care about you.
But he's an individual guy.
Yeah, but he'll just go to another
dude to
guy.
fucking, he's gonna show up anyway.
This was Albuquerque, New Mexico. Maybe he would care about you because he needs another business. We're in Manhattan, New York City.
Yeah.
You are in fucking shit.
Is it my expectations are too high, or is it I have a warped perception of reality?
Yes.
Yes, and?
Yes, and.
It's yes, and?
What you're saying should happen. He
Right.
should treat you better.
Right.
But he's never going to
Right.
because
It's-
he
so
already
it's-
has 3 things in your building he has to fix.
Right. So in a lot of ways, I'm basically like talking about how easy it would be to have world peace. And
At a very micro scale,
at
yes.
the most micro level, I'm
Yes.
saying the world would be so much better if contractors would just show up and do their fucking jobs.
Right.
And that sounds like I'm being so much more critical of like an industry because I am making a broad generalization of contractors.
Yes.
I'm sure there's some guys who show up and then they just get there and then they want to be a decent human being. And if you're that guy, hit me up because I will pay you just a tiny bit more than I will pay that other guy.
That's right.
And I'm not even paying that guy. So that's
Shout out the building. Shout out renters insurance.
shout out just the landlord who that's really what pisses me off. Is that if it were a guy who I found and he showed up and acted that way, I'd be like, all right, well, I'm not gonna pay you for anything. But it's the landlord who works with this guy.
Right.
And the landlord's like, oh, call him up. He'll do it. I want to call the landlord up and be like, hey, man, he sucks. And I'm sure you're not paying him very much for whatever. So this doesn't matter. But at the same time, I got to get the opinion out. That's it.
But then it just comes back. Your landlord doesn't care about you because he has how many other units in the building.
Right.
And-
He's got multiple buildings.
Oh, he's got multiple buildings.
Yeah.
Hasidic Jew?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's unfortunate that
They're
you clocked
good.
it. I wish that wasn't the case. With you guessing that. Not I'm fine with him being pass. Quit pass. Skip it. Quit. You know what I'm trying to say.
I assume all landlords in Brooklyn are Hasidic Jews.
I can neither confirm nor deny, but
They're the best. They made the best move.
Yep.
Tip of the cap. Tip of the big hat.
I mean, the guy is overall he does a phenomenal job, and he wants to give me a discount, so I'm in. Like I pay less than I probably should be.
Yeah. Well, and then you get this service.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, maybe
You know,
it
there's
is
a whole
me.
thing here.
It is me. I
at
am
a
the
very
worst.
small scale, we're talking about why we don't have food in Africa.
That's it.
Right.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
all the same reason.
Yeah,
But
exactly. It's like
whatever.
I came in here, grabbed the mic, and yelled, "There's kids starving in Africa."
Right.
And we should be doing X, Y, Z, but instead it's about my ceiling being leaky.
Exactly. Why aren't we talking about the Muslims in China being held captive? Because I don't even know what those people are called. It starts with a U. But like I don't even. Because there's so many other things I got going on.
I was about to.
Starts with a
yeah,
U.
yeah.
I don't know what they're called. I can't even pronounce it if you showed it to me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. We're about to get into a territory of two dudes who just
Whatever.
have no fucking clue. Yeah. So that's basically been my fucking god awful useless week. And the dude just showed up and he was like, "Yeah, what's up?" And I'm like, "All right, no, yeah, dude, just fucking cut it down." And all right, yeah, what's
Right.
up with you?
I got fucking my own apartment.
Your
shit.
sofa get here yet?
What?
Your sofa get here yet?
That's a whole can of worms. I'm moving tomorrow. I won't have furniture for a week. I don't know how I'm going to live. But
Yeah,
that's besides the point, Taylor.
Yeah, Rich is gonna have SpaghettiOs on his floor for 3 weeks.
Yeah, I'm going to make fucking chicken parm and eat it on my fucking floor. Listen, I ordered the Verizon internet, and like I said before on this podcast, I got the Verizon because you talk bad about Spectrum.
Yeah.
So Spectrum
And,
lost because of you.
Hey, listen. Between you and me, it's probably not going to be that different a service.
I have Verizon now. I've never had a problem. But you're right. I'm not expecting much.
Yeah.
The guy's supposed to come, Taylor, 8:30 to 9:30 to my apartment.
If he showed up on time, I'm leaving.
He showed up around 9:30, a little bit before.
Oh,
So he made it in the time.
Okay.
He shows up,
Yeah.
and he goes, all right, you're just getting internet, right? And I said, yep, just getting the internet, no cable. He goes, okay. You bring anything? I said, what? And he said, like, you're getting everything new. You didn't bring anything. And I said, no, because I'm not the cable guy. You're the cable guy.
Yeah.
You bring the equipment.
Yeah, but what was he asking? Like, did you bring like a router from like your previous?
He was talking about, like, did you bring all the wires and the router? And
That's amazing.
I was like, no, because that's what you do.
Right.
That's why you're here.
Right.
If
Or-
I had that,
Yeah.
you wouldn't be here.
Right. Or at the very least, call ahead. Just give a ring and be like, hey, man.
I got 97 texts from Verizon.
Yeah.
And they said, hey, we just need to confirm that your apartment is COVID safe. Reply yes or no if it's safe. And I was like, oh, is this the safety protocols now? That I just tell you yes and you go fucking sick. This guy's going to be here with no equipment.
Yeah.
Be ready to tell him you don't have anything so he could take even longer.
Right. They couldn't send one text, be like, you got them wires?
You asked me 14 times to wear a mask. Yeah, I had a feeling you want me to wear a mask. It's fucking... And so the guy's like, I'm going to have to call someone to bring the equipment.
Well, then who
And I
are
was
you?
like, who the fuck are you? Do you work for anyone? Who do you work for?
What are you, Uber Eats? What is this? Are you a
I
task
thought it was a
rabbit?
neighbor or something who just
Yeah.
walked in and he was like, all right, you got it? Everything okay? So he left for like an hour.
Yeah.
And he came back. He's like, all right, I got the stuff. He just plugged it into the wall. He's like, all right, yep, that's it.
Is it? What was the bit? Was it a comedian who like in open mics who basically like was outsourcing IT? Like they were doing a job. They were supposed to be the IT for a company, but what they did was they found cheaper IT in like India or China and basically started outsourcing their own job out there and not telling anybody that they were doing it.
Oh, no. Who is this?
I do not know whether this either was like national news or somebody just like offhand told me at open mics, but it's exactly what it sounds like with this. It sounds like literally like somebody at Verizon who's supposed to be doing that job just went on to TaskRabbit and was like, I need you to show up and I need you to set up this guy's internet if he's got all the wires. If he doesn't got all the wires, call me.
Well, he like he dressed too much like a cable guy.
Ooh.
Does that make sense?
Tucked in polo.
So he had a flannel on, half tucked in, one knee pad on his right knee, and gloves in his back
Sounds
pocket.
like he was about to lay some grout in your
I
apartment.
was like, are you a village person?
He had a yellow hat.
And he goes, okay, starts unbuttoning the flannel. And what are we doing? And I was like,
Yeah.
all right, guy, relax.
Yeah, this is a weird bachelor party.
I was a little hot and heavy there for a second. So I do remember a comic, and you know him, Ariel Elman.
Oh, yes.
He was somehow, he like hacked the sports ticket system.
Yes.
And I remember I was in Boston. I did Laugh Boston for a weekend. Shout out Tommy O'Regan for booking me on that.
Uh-huh.
I wanted to go to a Red Sox game with my family. I was like, hey, you got 3 tickets for the Red Sox? He goes, yeah, I got 3 tickets, you chooch. Here's 3 tickets. He gives me the 3 tickets. I checked the price on other websites. He overcharged me for the tickets. And what's Ariel Elman?
Yeah.
An aesthetic Jew.
Oh, boy.
And we bring it back. It's a callback.
Unbelievable.
So there you go, Ariel.
It was the funniest thing because it's like, he just struck me as somebody who was always trying to start like a Cutco thing.
I mean-
Elman's definitely got that kind of energy of like, I was waiting for the point in describing the ticket thing to be like, and all you need to do is find 3 of your friends, and I'll give you the tickets, and you give it to them, and then we'll turn a profit.
Not saying anything about him
Yeah.
or his people.
Yeah.
You just heard what Taylor said.
What? Cutco isn't
No, but like
it's
he was
a huge corporation.
No, he was trying to scheme the system that way, and then he also did. He did do IT security. It might have been him who outsourced his job.
Yeah, but I don't. That seemed like somebody who was so stupid that they did something smart. Ariel seems like very, very smart and would do.
Well,
something,
he got me.
Yeah.
He overcharged me by like $4 or $5. Like it wasn't much,
Oh, that's
but
funny.
for him to preach
Yeah.
on how he could get anyone these such cheap tickets, I was like, you motherfucker.
Yeah, but could you imagine like that's how he's turning his buck is like just $5 off the top for him? Like, and then like the way he talks about it is like he's making bank at the IRS. Fucking
Right, at IRS.
Yeah, hit a burial element. I'm sure he's fucking hiding some shit.
That's a whole fucking. I have
Yeah.
a friend who doesn't even pay his taxes. That's a whole separate story.
Yeah. Yeah. I tried to do my oh no. Just
No, we're not talking taxes.
Yeah, we're not
You want a good tax story?
sure.
Nah, I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah.
I'll
I just
save it-
feel like
'cause I didn't
just feel like the
experience
minute
it.
we get into it, it's either going to be boring or somebody's going to be real upset that we told it.
Right, I'm not gonna. That's why I'm not gonna say it.
It's one or the other.
If I experienced it firsthand,
Yes.
I would go into the story.
Right.
But my parents experienced it, so I'm not gonna say
Stinks.
it. Did I tell you this story about their walk? Here you go, mom and dad telling them this story. The path.
Yes.
The path they walk was snowed in for a very long time.
Okay.
So now it's melted. People can go back onto the path.
Yep.
So my parents go onto the path. A lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
not traditional path walkers.
Right.
My parents have noticed.
Not Lanky Jane or something. They,
I mean, there's so many characters. I'm not going to go over all the characters.
Yeah,
again,
exactly.
you
it's
know?
like Game of Thrones. We don't have enough time to
Right,
recap.
I can't go past all the seasons
You
and go
can't
back
talk
and
about the whole
connect them all
cast.
together.
Yeah.
But just to let you know, Willie Nelson is growing his beard back out, even though it's getting warmer. As I've stated before, long
Wow.
beard during the summer, short beard in the winter.
Willie Nelson outside in the cold, chilly Nelson. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's very funny.
Yeah, there you go.
That's good.
It's either you tell your parents first or they'll listen to it.
They'll
on the
listen
podcast.
to it.
They might like it. I don't know.
No, my dad probably calls it gay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they're walking.
Yeah.
There's another couple walking.
Okay.
They approach each other. The other couple starts chit-chatting like, oh, it's getting warmer out, huh? You know, we're out here. We're doing the walk.
Sure.
Here's the thing, Taylor.
Yeah.
My parents have decreed themselves king and queen of the path.
Sure.
So my dad's like, do you know who the fuck we are? Who are you to stop me during my walk and interrupt my pace?
Right. Right.
So what my dad decided to do was he decided not even to give these people nicknames, which is the lowest
Wow.
someone could be on my dad's totem pole.
Wow. I always thought this was a 2-tier system of like your parents and then everybody else, but clearly it's a 3-tier of everybody else with names and then the nobodies.
There was never a nobody. They've now started their own Indian caste system.
Yes, it's the caste system.
Yeah,
Yes.
before it was just we're on the top and everyone else.
Right.
We have now started an untouchable caste.
Yes.
And it's
Yeah.
now they are the couple.
Whoa. Which
Fuck you, couple.
kind of a cool nickname. The couple. Kind of a cool nickname. Accidentally kind of cool.
Turns into the most powerful nickname there is.
Yeah.
They don't even need a label and you know who
Yeah,
they are.
that's some like they're gonna own it. You know, they're gonna first of all they're gonna find out because you know obviously the path is very chatty and gossipy.
Of course.
and word gets around, and I'm sure they'll be like, "Oh, we're the couple. We're the couple."
Well, my parents don't reveal nicknames. If
Right,
any of
because
these
it would
people
be,
watch the
it would,
podcast,
it would be hurtful for.
they would
I
know.
think most of them would be like,
No, I think most of them would be like, "This is pretty spot on."
yeah,
I mean, like the woman named my grandmother. She wouldn't know she's my because she doesn't know
Right.
what my grandmother looks like.
Right,
She also doesn't really look like her face kind of looks like my grandmother. But she's
like she's an old lady.
no, her face actually kind of looks
Oh,
like my
okay.
grandmother, but she was like 5 inches shorter. Like not even close to the height.
Right. Yeah.
So that's another story there.
Yeah.
I'm fucking back, baby. I was hung over the past 2 weeks, and I'm ready with the stories.
Yeah.
I'm done with the drinking.
Ow. I mean,
I'm not, but I want to be.
yeah.
It's just, I can't do it. Well, I try to pace with everyone.
Well, that's a terrible idea.
I try
Off
to
the
go
bat,
with
that's
everyone.
A shit idea.
No, because I would drink faster.
Right. So do the opposite of both of those things and then just slow down.
It's a whole hand. I gotta.
Yeah, I don't.
Wait, that's why I can't have snacks in front of me, or at least I eat
Right.
all the snacks.
Yeah, it's compulsive.
It's compulsive.
Yeah, you have a compulsive thing. I get that, which from what you're saying, I'm not saying don't drink. Yeah, do what you feel in that regard. I'm just saying, like, you know, I don't know. If you, I'm going to wait until you finish what you're going to say.
I don't know, because like 2 weeks ago, we went. First of all, no, I'll get to that. We went to the Standard Beer Garden.
Yes.
Have you been to the Standard Beer Garden?
You ask me this every time I come over. No.
Very nice.
Yep.
It used to be like a whole party area, like shoulder to shoulder.
Right,
like
right.
one of
And
those
now
places
it's all
you can't
bubbled.
move. And now it's all tabled. Very nice. I actually had a very nice time.
Is it like one of those pseudo indoor things? Like it is indoor, but there's so much like crosswind.
Nah, it's outdoor, but it's basically indoor,
Okay. Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess kind of.
It's
the
kind of
opposite
exactly
of
what I
you
said. Is there a roof?
It's like an awning.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a roof.
It's a pergola.
It's a pergola.
It's a pergola. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
And a good time there.
Sure.
Here's my thing,
Yeah.
Taylor.
What's your drink strategy? What
So
do
my
you do?
drink strategy is
Besides just
I
do
get
what
one of
everybody
the
else
big
is doing.
ones. I just sip on that.
Beer.
Big beer.
Okay.
I'm going with beer during that day because that's the thing. It's a beer garden. I'm going to go with beer.
Sure.
And I go with a light beer. I go with the lightest one they have.
Okay. Yep.
We have a few of those. And here's the thing. I'm with the fellas, my
Sure.
usual group of fellas.
Who arguably big drinkers.
Drink.
Yeah.
Like after we went to the Standard Beer Garden that day.
Yep.
They woke up the next day, did brunch at Poco.
Yep.
Went out to a club, fell asleep, woke up on Sunday, did Poco again.
Unreal.
At one's 27, one's 26.
Yeah. I can do.
How do you do that anymore?
Here's what I could do.
Tell me.
I can do big nights. I can do big nights that start 3 tops. So that's what we did last Friday for St.
That
Patty's.
start at 3.
Start at 3,
Gotcha.
and we can go till the bar's closed. 11. I can hit till 11.
Right.
But after that, it's like not only am I starting to run out of juice at that point, it's also like I've done that during quarantine of trying to stay out after the bar's closed, and it's just you become a zombie sewer rat so quickly, and it's just like it's so unfun.
Yes.
It's so unfun to be like, maybe there's a bar that's being all sneaky. No
Yeah.
bar is being sneaky. No bar wants to risk being shut down now, this close to the end of quarantine.
Yes.
They're like 10, 15. They're like, you guys need to get your shit together because as soon as 10:45 hits, we're going to start shutting off the lights, and then 10:50, get the fuck out. Like,
Yep.
11:05, we're going home.
Yes.
So yeah, so that was like, but what will happen is big nights, beer, whiskey. I'm not really mixing
You stick with one or the other.
one or the other, and especially St. Patrick's Day, like leading up to it, drinking a lot of, whiskey, drinking a lot of beer, and then just going out, doing it. And then the next day, yes, I'll feel like shit. I've been having milk thistle. You know milk thistle?
No.
It's like a thing that's supposed to like help with your liver.
Okay.
So it's like your hangovers feel a little less horrible.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. But I need at least 48, 72 hours between that and the next time. That's where I'm at.
Okay. See, no.
Yeah.
I'm so.
Yeah.
I see. I had we stayed there for 4 hours.
Yeah.
I had 3 of the big beers.
Okay.
We left. We went to another place, and I had 1 beer at that place. We left, and when we left there, I thought to myself, "Let's keep the party going."
And this is what time?
This was about 7 p.m.
Okay. Yeah.
Here's the
I don't know.
thing.
Was there somebody who was trying to not keep the party going?
We now have split. Half of the group has gone to Fidei. Half of the group has gone to Upper East Side where they live.
To go home.
Or continue their own, just be closer to home.
Got it.
Here's my new thing.
Okay.
Whenever I think, let's keep the party going,
Yeah.
I'm going home. I can no longer, at the age of 27 years old,
Yeah.
keep the party going. I can't do it. I used to be able to keep the party going whole weekend.
Yeah.
Party In my head, because that's my tipping point.
Yeah.
When I think, let's keep the party going.
Well, and,
We're done.
Well, and here's the thing for me is that I think it's also comes down to I'm riding raw adrenaline of like the excitement of socializing coming back.
That was a factor.
That's a big thing. This is a thing that I talked about for like people who started at my job or whatever, which was this thing of like going out for a cocktail or whatever around coworkers, and you're not totally sure what's gonna happen. You're gonna ride that adrenaline of worrying that you're gonna fuck up or worrying that you're gonna be unprofessional or whatever. Most rational people are gonna do that. There's some people who are gonna get too drunk, whatever. You know, it is what it is. I think for these past 2 times, because Friday hanging out with coworkers, Wednesday hanging out with coworkers, just raw adrenaline of like when I got home at like midnight, I was like, I had a lot to drink.
Yes.
But I don't feel super drunk. I don't feel like whatever. Wednesday, I was really drunk. Like Wednesday, I got home, broke a water bottle.
Is this St. Patrick's Day?
Yeah, it's the St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Wednesday, got home, broke a water bottle. I did this thing in the Uber on the way home where I was like, hey, man, can I put the window down? Because I just needed fresh air.
Of course.
Yeah. So I kind of had the mask down a little bit. The air was flowing, right? And I kind of like fell asleep like this with like my mouth open and the air was blowing in my face. And the Uber driver just like saw me and then put up my window as it was going. And then it went all the way up. And then I immediately go, boop. And then I bring it right back down. It's good.
Let me do this.
Yeah. Because we were about to get on the highway.
So?
Hey,
So it's just noisy, I guess.
whoop, 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 whoop. You know that? Whoop, 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 whoop.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just really want this air. And I didn't say anything. I just went, "Brr." This is- and eventually I was like, all right, man, we're fine. We're like 2 blocks from my apartment. But then I get home. Char's got the couch set up for me. I'm not sleeping in bed. She knew I was really.
Because of the smell?
No, it's just I just will like I'll toss and roll and I'll like not be able to get comfortable
Gotcha.
or I'll need the TV on or whatever. And she's like, I like had my big jug of water, dropped it, heads up, cracked everything. It just fucking spilled water everywhere.
It's a big water bottle.
Yeah, and then I'm laying on the couch and Char brings me a sandwich, and by sandwich it's a pita that has popcorn in it.
That's not a sandwich.
Turns out not a sandwich. She just wanted to see if I would eat it. And I did. Because I'm not turning down a carb. That's just the reality of the situation.
Guess what? You lost, Char.
Yeah, hey, joke's on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally, she got up the next day and she's like, I handed you a popcorn sandwich and you bit it and you thought it was gross. But where is it? I was like, oh, I ate it.
Yeah.
You went downstairs and I ate it. Yeah, of course.
You could eat those 2 things separately.
Yeah. I could have just dumped it out and then I got a pita.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
But yeah, no. Wednesday was more like, I think the goal was drinking more than seeing people. It was
Interesting.
You know what I mean? Like it had switched.
Right.
So it's also that intention. Because I think with you and your friends, you're probably like, we know each other. It'll be great to see you, but the intention here is to get drunk more than it is.
Right. Their intention is to get drunk, and I'm just
you're
caught
following their
up
lead.
in it.
Yeah.
Even if I try to drink less, me drinking less than them is still... and I also don't really drink anymore.
Right. I know.
So I just can't hang.
Yeah.
And then another thing,
But it's also
Taylor,
it's hanging. Do they like we're doing a round, everybody's getting drunk? Like, is it like that, or is it just like I'm going to have another one and you watch him and you go?
No, everyone just drinks keep flowing. We just keep it going.
I hate that. I hate that energy because it's like.
It's very nice.
But will they comment if you are like, I'm good?
No. They're
They're not gonna like. It's not peer pressure, but whatever the fuck the equivalent of.
Right.
Yeah, it's not that.
No. It's,
Yeah, because that shit drives me crazy. Like.
it's just we got beers for everyone. And if
Yeah.
you don't want it, they'll drink it. And it's like, so they just doubled up their...
Oh, well then that's when I would get fucked up. Yes.
right. It's the culture. It's just getting caught up in that...
Yes.
in that
Yeah.
in that drinking culture, which, listen, college, it was fun. I had a good time.
Yeah.
It's over, babe.
Yeah.
It's just over.
Yeah. It's the you remember was it King's Cup?
Yes, I'm a big fan of Kings. I love Kings.
I hate it. I hate the concept of it because what you're doing is you're turning what should be an enjoyable experience of drinking alcohol and like hanging out with friends, and then you're making it this sort of weird mini game that's like gonna piss everybody off and then get way more drunk than you're intending to, and then remove all social aspects. So you're just a bunch of people standing around watching somebody slip a card underneath a fucking Coke.
Taylor, you hit my next topic, but not on Kings.
Yeah.
It's exactly my point for this thing I want to bring up. What my roommate likes to do, shout out my roommate Mike, who
Yeah.
will not be my roommate starting tomorrow.
Right.
What we do when we like are drunk, he likes to bring out this like app he has. It's basically Cards Against Humanity.
Right.
And he does it, and I've never confirmed this with him.
Okay.
I think he does it to keep the conversation going. Here's my thing.
Yeah.
I hate Cards Against Humanity.
Yeah.
I absolutely hate it. The reason being, if you need someone else to write jokes, laminate them, put them on cardboard, and you had to buy them for $20 so you think you're funny,
Yeah.
you suck.
Yeah.
You are the most uncreative person.
Yeah.
So now we have a whole group of people who are already uncreative as is,
Yeah.
now drunk,
Yeah.
trying to be like we have nothing in common.
Right.
Like if we have nothing in common, this game isn't like we just shouldn't be together.
Yeah, or you should figure out how to have a conversation with somebody who you don't have a lot in common with.
Right, just learn
Find
social skills.
Yeah, you're opting out of developing social skills by playing Cards Against Humanity.
Yes, and name the top 3 things.
And I think, and I'm sure people listening right now would probably chalk your opinion up to that to you pursuing comedy.
And I do think that is a factor.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
That's 100%
yeah, I just
a
wanted to
factor
make
in
sure
this.
that we have the awareness to understand that that's
Oh,
probably
100%.
why you feel that.
And that's also why I enjoy hanging out with comedians more than any other group of people.
right, because you're playing freestyle Cards Against Humanity.
I'm writing the
You're
jokes.
right. You're making Cards Against Humanity.
Right.
Yeah.
But so what I'm doing now, what I did then is, and what my other new rule is, so just to make sure we all have my rules down so far.
Yeah.
First rule, when I think keep the party going, we're going to stop the party.
Yeah.
Second thing is, if I don't know you and I can tell we just don't have a lot in common,
Yeah.
I'm going to burn the bridge. Because I got too many people in my life. I'm done with it.
Here's and I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I don't believe in the burning the bridge, but
I'm doing it.
I used to do a thing of like inflating the bridge, if that makes sense. Like,
You overcompensated.
oh,
you
yeah.
did the opposite
I
of
went
my
the other
strategy.
way, where I remember like certain people at like Mike's or just like people who I've met who I've just will give the impression that we've hit it off far more than we've actually hit it off, if that makes sense. I will kind of give the impression of like, you're not gonna like this. Sometimes I will, laugh a little bit harder at something.
So someone will like you.
Yeah, of course. Bingo. Survival. I mean, that's basic social survival skills.
Okay.
Let's
relax. You watched Survivor for 2 weeks. Let's
Yeah.
calm down on.
I'm playing the social game.
Do you think there were cavemen out there that knew they couldn't hunt lions, knew that they couldn't defeat other armies, so they were like, I'm going to laugh harder
Yeah.
at the stronger guy's jokes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, it's a absolutely defense social mechanism. But what I'm trying to do now is just be like, not make that person feel like they just walked away with a new best friend, because I don't feel that way when I walk away from most interactions. I go, I'll do that again, and that'll be fun. I'll be, even if I like have nothing in common with this person.
Right.
My thing is to like, I'll work it. I'll find a middle ground. We'll talk about your bullshit. I'll joke about your bullshit. That's what
Right.
I love. That's if they don't give me the opportunity to joke about their stupid, boring bullshit, then we're not gonna hit it off. Because that's the compromise. That's the give and take. Is you can be as boring or as kind of self-indulgent or talk about your job or talk about whatever. I'm going to ask you questions that are ultimately going to lead to me having some sort of joke or make light of it in a fun way. I'm not going to try to make you feel bad about your career or whatever, but
Oh, no, of course.
Yeah.
I'm not going to insult.
I'm not going to
the
insult you.
people.
Yeah, but I'm going to ask you questions that lead to weird things that I can like expose or analyze and be like, hey, you didn't think about that, did you? That's fucking weird, isn't it? And then most
Right.
people go, either they will be insecure about it and be like, oh, this is weird, I'm going to walk away. Or they're like, yeah, that is fucking weird. Let's talk more about that weird thing. And I'm like, yeah, here we go.
I'm trying to do the same thing, same weird, except I'm trying to get them not to talk to me.
Right. Which, fine. Yeah, we're two sides of the same coin.
Right. It's I can't deal with nothing people. I've stated my my thesis on nothing people on here
Well,
before.
clearly you learned it from your parents.
Yeah, I mean probably. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you've got your own caste system.
Yeah. Well, my dad just doesn't talk to anyone, which inadvertently makes people love him.
Of course.
Very odd.
Absolutely. Well,
Yeah.
that's the thing. It's like, why is he so confident that he doesn't have to say anything?
It's very
Drawn to that.
It's very interesting to see, especially growing up. I'd be like playing a sport, start of the game. My dad's on the opposite side of all the parents on the bleachers.
funny.
By the end of the game, they're all sitting next to him.
Yeah.
The oddest thing in the world.
Don't understand it.
More entertaining than the game. But yeah, so like I could tell these were nothing people.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. Once the Cards Against Humanity started, and they were just saying like the most basic answers, I
Yeah.
said okay, and then I started yelling alt-right answers,
Right.
just to get the sparks going,
Right.
just to get the wheels turning.
Which arguably is the reverse effect because the wheels don't turn; they grind to a halt.
And that's the point. Let's stop
Are you
playing
hoping that
this
people
stupid
will
fucking
just
game.
leave the social interaction? They'll just like actually leave.
It's more like it's kind of like if we went to go play poker. Let's say you're Taylor and I'm Michael Jordan. And you're like, okay, I'm going to go to the $2 table where I just bet $2 on the game. I'm like, nah, I gamble millions. Like, I'm here to land some risky jokes. So
right.
if
Right. Okay. All right. As long as that's your yes, I understand where you're.
so I'm going to go for risky jokes.
Yeah.
Because I know you're going to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And that's going to make me enjoy
Yeah.
this because you've never been creative in your life. So I'm going to try to force you to be uncomfortable. And hopefully that turns you into a creative, which I know it won't.
But here's the thing. Another way to look at what you're doing is intentionally sucking the air out of the room.
Oh, yeah. But what you don't get is I don't care.
Right. Which you're very clear about that. It's just one of those things of like, hey, maybe consider not being so selfish in social interactions.
Nah, I guess. No, what's selfish is you pulling out fucking Cards Against Humanity and thinking that you're a funny person because of that.
Yes, and I'm gonna do a yes and.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's a little column A, little column B on that one.
If you told me all those people did Improv 101 at UCB, I would have said you fucking knew it.
Yeah, exactly.
I just can't take nothing. I can't take people that have 0% creativity.
yeah.
I rather a Brooklyn comic than
there's
that person.
Well, to be fair, and you're not you are empathetic in other ways, but just not in that regard. There is this thing with creativity of like a lot of people, like not even just like a little bit, a lot of people are deeply insecure about any perception of creativity that they have. Like there's something about that pocket of their brain that they're like scared to show things like that.
Definitely.
Because it becomes this, I don't want people to judge that, and it's something that they really cling on to and like love and care about. There's because it's ultimately your sense of creativity is your sense of identity, and that's kind of who you are. So what I'm saying is what I try to do is draw that creativity out of them in ways where they don't know that they're doing it, so that ultimately if we're having a good time, it's a bunch of people who are like, oh, I didn't even fucking realize that I'm making up stupid bits about my stupid job and I'm having a decent time about it.
No, that's not like exactly what you just said.
The reverse
Is the worst case scenario for me. Someone
Having
someone trying to make jokes
yeah.
to come off
Well-
as funny.
Well,
and
hold
they're
on.
not funny
Well,
is a problem.
Well, hold on. Not jokes like ha joke. It's more like observations that are out of the ordinary from what they think is a huge in for me. Because I go, you're having thought, like getting thoughts with a group of people who on paper never think this way. And they just start like thinking about shit in like, I'm not talking about like acid trip thinking different. I'm just saying like thinking about like being an accountant in like a stupid way of like the way you clack keyboards all day and the sound it makes in an office full of people is like, okay, if you had enough to drink, that's kind of a funny thing to think about and talk about.
Yeah, but what you don't get is these people are accountants for a reason.
Yeah.
They don't have creativity. Not everyone has that little creativity in them. Most people don't. You went to an arts college where everyone did, and then you went to a profession where everyone did.
Yeah.
Most people don't.
I think
that's why they're these people.
Well, I think everybody has it in the same way that's like the killer instinct. Like, like everybody's got, or that ability to like lift a car up if there's a baby under it. It's like, yes, no, not everybody has that, but it's also like not everybody does have it in some capacity. Like, I'm just saying for a lot of people, it's like very small, or it's hidden and then they don't want to talk about it, or it's whatever. It's like, it's all that shit of like the worst, the hands down, the worst thing in the world is somebody who has clung to the creative identity and will shoehorn it into a conversation.
Yes.
With somebody who is creative. And I'm not saying that they're not creative. It's just like we're speaking different dialects here. And it's literally...
They misidentify.
It's the same thing as an open mic comic talking to somebody who's actually making money in comedy and approaching it from the way of, hey, I know what that's about.
Exactly.
I know what that's like.
Exactly.
Hey, jokes, right? And you go, yeah... But at the same time, you're painting for fun, and I love that.
Right.
Go off, do your thing, or you want to be an artist or whatever. But it's like there's just a big difference in like I'm not gonna pretend like that's the exact same thing. And especially in my job, like there are some people who are like creative, but not design and not art and not anything, and will try to overlap. And be like, I'm bringing that creativity with me. And it's like, just understand that there is a difference. Like, you can't just say shit and be like, you'll figure it out, right? Creative. Here we go. It just drives me up a wall to just be like, at least appreciate that there's a difference.
I think you have to talk to more accountants.
Yeah.
That's because they suck.
Yeah.
They really suck. If you're an accountant,
you suck.
Find another pod or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. This isn't for you.
How we doing? 102?
We're done.
Yeah.
All right. Everyone, Taylor has to go. Okay, he has to get the dog. Bye.